What would you say your best moment was to date?
That's quite odd because there's been some good times here, and I've really enjoyed it. I think the Crawley game stands out for me. The opening day of the season, for some mad moment, I suggested in pre-season that we'd draw Crawley, and the impression we made on that day was significant. I think it introduced Carl Perry to this football club and various other players. Our pre-season was very good. I was very pleased with that. But then to transform it onto your opening day fixture, and against a strong Crawley side, a very strong Crawley side, who Steve Evans, I've got a lot of respect for, knows this division inside out, and to give them a walloping was always was good. It don't win you anything, but it was a good day, and I think that all your hard work, and I think in pre-season where there's an initial thing like, okay, it's a new team, a new start, but the boys, it was a good day that day, and obviously we've tried to build on that ever since.
And on the flip side, what about the most disappointing moment?
I'm not a negative person, and I don't worry about that. We're never ever going to win every game. I think the Stevenage game here stands out a mile through professionalism and the fourth official and things that went on that day. It wasn't about losing the game. It was more about some of the things that went on there, and that disappointed me in a lot of aspects. But life's about learning from disappointments. Life's about enjoying what you're doing, and we do enjoy it. We work very hard. And my impression is to make sure that this club's going forward, and hope the fans understand that we work in an economical world, and we have to make sure that this club is stable. I work very hard, and I've grown a relationship with the chairman and Steve and Andy. They're good people, and they want this club to be stable. They want to get it out of this league, of course we do. But what we have to reflect on, and this is realism. And I've had to manage the budget in a very practical way.
What's your relationship like with the board? Because that's something that perhaps supporters don't see.
I think it's very healthy. I think there's a lot of respect there. Is that I know that where we can go and where we can't go with returns in monetary side of it. I'm transparent. I don't have anything to hide with the chairman. I think if the chairman needs to know something, he should be told it. Because if I was chairman of this football club, I would like to be in charge. But I think that relationship from day one has progressed. Of course, it takes a little bit of time and finding out about people's mentalities and mannerisms. But we like winning, and I think there's been a lot of good days. The days that we haven't been successful, we reflect on and put to bed and move on, and that's a mark of dignified people and respectful people. And we have one thing solely in common, is that we want to take this club as forward as quickly as possible, but also in a pragmatic way. We deal with things that we have to deal with.
More transfers in January?
Yeah, I think that we've brought in. I brought the players in early, with contracts in mind for the rest of the season, because if we'd have got to a stage where the window was open, those players probably wouldn't have been available. I'm talking about your Brough, your Challoner, your Burgess. We've got a few equations to deal with, which will be dealt with in a private manner. Is that defensively we need to make sure we can continue keeping clean sheets. That's something that we must have a balance of attacking football, but likewise good defensively. So if there's a defender out there that I need to bring in and people aren't keeping up to their standards we expect, then again it's competition for place. But I'm delighted with the squad we've got now. I think this is the strongest squad I've had by a long way, and the qualities in the training is immense, and we just hope that once they cross the line, the players that we brought here to the club can put it out there in a pragmatic and certainly an emphatic way by getting more victories.
So will there be players coming in as well as out, or just players coming in?
Well, there's one or two players that I think that need to go out and play football. There's a fact.
Talking about loan moves there.
Well, it depends on what the player wants. If they've got an idea on playing every week, then I'll allow them to have that opportunity should it be right for the football club. But as regards to coming in, I may well bring a defender in. We'll see, or two. But that'll be opportunities. But you've got to remember, you've got to try to bring in players that can make you better, not just for the sake of it, but also within our budget, our framework of pay. And that's never easy when you're trying to attract players from higher divisions, perhaps, or other clubs.
There is competition now in every single area of the squad, isn't there? How do you go about managing that? How do you go about managing individual players? Because, of course, sometimes there can be too much of it if players are getting a bit insecure. So, as a manager, you've got a lot of equations, haven't you?
Certainly have. I think that man management and people management, I've said that from day one, is that you have to get people working hard, enjoying their football. But what you must have competition for place. If you don't have that, people will sit in their comfort zone. And I don't want them to be in a comfort zone. I want them to be working as hard as they possibly can on that field. When they enter the field of play, go out there and work your socks off. Maintain your high standards. Wingers, can you get crosses in? Defenders, can you stop crosses? Put your head in where it needs to be put. Goal scorers, score your goals. Goalkeeper, keep your clean sheets. All these matters are being pragmatic, but also are a must.
What about the players who are currently still out on loan, the likes of Darryl, Clare and those type of players? Where do you expect their futures to lie come January?
Well, Darryl will be coming back. I mean, as I said before, I've allowed Luke Graham to go out to York because he wasn't playing, and I feel that was the right move for the football club at the time. But Darryl, Darryl will be coming back. He needed the games. He's gone out and got games now. He's had a couple of very good days at Gateshead where he scored a few goals. So as far as I'm concerned with that one, we'll entertain all the players we have on contract here. And if they do allow people to go out on loan, it'll be with their interest, but also the most important thing is for the club's interest.
And he'll be coming back to fight for a place in this lineup.
Of course, absolutely right. I mean, the same with the younger players that I want to go out and, like your Jay Bradley and your Gregory, they've gone up to Harrogate and they might just form a partnership that might be fruitful for this football club next season. Who knows? But they've both done well in their respective moves that they've gone out, and every player that I've gone out on loan has had a good time, and that's important. Your young Ben Turner, your Grant Ryans, your Higginsons, they've all done well for their clubs. Naylor, good prospects for this football club, and I feel that when I came to the football club, there were players here that are sitting in stands every week. We can't have that, and there's no point in them sitting in a stand and watching. We have got no reserve fixtures. So maintaining their high standards of form, but also confidence, and confidence is a word that you can't fail to recognise, is that players need to play, and they only get their confidence by playing regular football. We don't have the finance to be able to finance a reserve league place, and these are important issues that you have to look at. But the club must come first. The players that go out on loan are sent out on loan because it complements our wage bill. And however, people have an aspect of saying, well, Mansfield Town is this, big financial club. We're not. We aren't in the brackets of other clubs. Other clubs may have a bigger budget, but we've got a big heartbeat, and we have to work with that, and we have to work on that desire, and we're doing so in a pragmatic but likewise committed fashion.